terrible at this point on YouTube because we're never ready when the little thumbnail 3 second thing comes up. So there's that.
Okay. I have
what to do
messed it
now.
up, so now I cannot read. I don't know what I did.
So today, while Jen fixes that,
Oh, there we go. Ooh, I fixed it.
she fixed it. Yay!
That was easy. I don't know
Okay.
how I did it, but I fixed it.
Okay. So we can read your comments now because you know we're blindly, and that's a problem. You know we're blindly, and that's a problem. Huh? Oh, I took your chair. The chair was. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So today, we're not usually. This is how we treat our guests, by the way. So that this is the norm. So we would like to first of all, we would like to welcome. We would like to welcome Mr. Bobby Cooper with the Wellness Lifestyle Group.
He's really cute.
He is just adorable.
He's really cute.
He's just adorable.
He's really cute.
He's gonna rub on Jen's face.
He's going to touch me.
That's right. So he is actually a licensed medical masseuse. And so tell us a little bit about the Wellness Lifestyle Group, first of all.
Well, the Wellness Lifestyle Group is a company that I started based on just seeing the need to get the services out into the community. It started as a mobile service. Some therapists understand that it's easier from time to time to go to the individual's home, and it's kind of how I started the business.
Okay. So I'm just going to ask these questions because this is my friend and I know him and I can ask him questions like this. So what did you do prior to becoming a medical massage therapist?
Oh man, I roll with the ninjas. I worked for the Department of Corrections.
Really?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
No, see, I did not know
amongst
this.
other things. Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah,
kind
that
of.
was my main. That was my main thing.
What'd you do there?
I was a correction officer, and I was on the special response team.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one?
I worked in Lebanon.
Really?
Shout out to the fellas working hard, and the fellas out there doing their time.
This is impressive. This is impressive.
You know that's.
Yeah.
Did she tell you anything about like my lifestyle, my life, and everything?
That she gets arrested a lot and we have to go bail her out.
Uh-oh.
And
I get in
know.
trouble a lot.
Don't get in trouble, people. Not good.
No, actually, I'm a blue daughter. Do you know what I mean by
I
that?
do know what you mean by that.
I'm actually almost our entire family is blue.
Yeah.
And then I married a fireman, and they said it would never work because he was a fireman. Actually, my first two husbands were firemen. and now my current husband is not, so he does not fit into any of those molds, and it's a perfect relationship.
but he's Superman. So that's
yeah,
okay.
he's awesome.
There you go.
So
The lovely and talented Sean.
Yes.
Right, good deal. South to Sean.
Yeah, you didn't get to meet Sean yet.
So, what made you decide to make the switch to, like, why did you pick medical massage?
Well, the real basis behind why I got into the field to begin with was because our family believes strongly in keeping the elderly in the home for as long as we possibly can, even until they transition on. So when I was younger, I would sit with my great grandmother while my mother would care for her, and sit at the end of her bed and take my hands and just kind of move the fluid that had gathered in the lower extremities of her legs. She would always talk about how good it felt and things of that nature. And at the time, I really didn't understand it to be an actual profession that people were doing to improve the quality of lives of individuals through manipulation of the muscles. So, I just kind of let it go for a little while. And, as life continued to go on, she spoke to me later on and encouraged me to make this move. And, that on top of the fact that, my father, he had some problems with, his knees and some other parts of his lower extremities. And it really caused me to get into the science of understanding how the soft tissue works, how the body works, how the tendons and ligaments support the body, the bones, all of that became extremely interesting and to me for the purpose of being able to help my family and pretty much later on help my dad and here we are today.
So basically, you don't have a problem with touching feet. Some people in this room have problems with feet.
Well, I don't have a problem
I will
with
not be
like
judged.
feet. Let me say feet. Like when you do this work and you love it. Like I actually love what it is that I do. Like the foot is all inclusive as part of the body. So when you're working on a client or a patient, so to speak, like I recognize that it is a foot, but what I see in the work is different than what you may understand it to be, if that makes sense to anybody. So I'm looking at the
You're looking at it from more of a medical
from a medical
medical
more of a
standpoint,
structural
and I'm looking
standpoint.
at it as
Like like that's a foot.
as
Yeah.
as an instrument of death.
Right.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
it's a different perspective, and that's all the way across the board. That's when you talk about manual therapy. That's all the way across the board. Like the vision, what the therapist is looking at, and what they see and feel and understand about the body is different than what you may think or feel. It's just a different concept.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
So before we go any further, we have some things that we need to. We did not introduce ourselves. We did not do our
Again,
introductions.
We never do an introduction because we just assume our flabulous family knows us.
You
But
should know
we
us.
should have new people signing in to watch this as well.
Yes.
So, that being the case, I am Jay, the spicy unicorn.
And I am Jen, the Wonder Diva.
Now, and Bob Cooper, licensed massage therapist from the Wellness Lifestyle Group, special guest.
And you are watching
Well
the
done.
Menopausal View, where we give zero, you know what?
We've checked all of our pockets, we've checked all of our purses, we've checked our bras. We don't have any shits left to give. So, that being said, we will proceed with our interview. So with this being like a male, because I noticed that. So I actually know Bob, and Bob, when he was going through his initial training, he's like, hey, I need some people to practice on. So I started going out to the clinic that he was at, and let me just say this first of all, he is my massage therapist. So when I say that, if you want to borrow him, I'm sensitive about it, first of all, because like I said, he is amazing, and I'm not saying that because yes, it helps that he's nice looking. That doesn't hurt anything, but he is professional. He is and when I say he is a gifted he is a gifted massage therapist.
It doesn't help that he's not ugly.
It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt anything at all.
That's what I meant to say.
But we're not going to focus on
He's
that
really pretty.
because this is a good dude right here. And
I'm gonna embarrass him one way or the other today.
we're actually intentionally trying to embarrass him at this point now. But this is, like I said, when I say he is absolutely professional, he is, because I have fibromyalgia, and I was walking out of there, like even when he was in the learning phase of it, I was walking out of there like a new woman, like hopping, skipping, jumping when I left there. So I highly, highly, highly recommend him. But I had a question for you, because what I noticed when I was coming out there to the school was that this is and he's been a licensed massage therapist now for a while, but I'm just saying that's how I started him. I noticed that it was mainly female dominated. So with it being a female dominated industry, I think, would you say that it is female dominated for the part?
Yeah, that's facts. Statistically speaking, it's 89% of the field is women, 11% is men.
Oh, wow. Wow. So how has that been for you in terms of, because I know some women they see, I'm just going to say it, they see an attractive guy and they're like, I'm not trying to get undressed in front of this guy. Like if you had a hump on your back, it would be much easier.
Right.
But you have to realize that you're a professional, and that this is your job, this is what you do, this is a non-sexual thing.
Just on a
So-
side note, Sarah Hoskins says, I feel like he is too handsome to rub my body.
See. So do you run into that? I mean, do you run into that, like where women are kind of like, because
I
you're
would-
male and not ugly. Let's just say that.
I would say that shout out to all the other male therapists out there working hard, in the profession. Hats off to y'all. It is difficult because of the stigmas and a lot of the misnomers about the profession. The best way, and even in that is difficult, but combating that disposition with the language of education is the best way to combat the stigma, even though still it's hard because you're absolutely right. Most women don't necessarily look at least right now, and the profession has grown by leaps and bounds over the last 10 to 15 years, where the level of respect, the commitment to education across the board, even from the state board, as far as requirements, has increased. Therapists are being more visible in chiropractic offices and doctors' offices. And all of those things, although they don't directly have a direct correlation to me being a male, have a correlation to the professionalism of the field increasing, hence for me more of an opportunity to have those conversations and have those educational, talks with individuals about what actually, massage is versus what the previous stigma of massage is. Because, it's really about, it's about pain management, understanding, how the soft tissue and the neurological system, circulatory system, all of those work together in order to be able to help improve the betterment or the quality of life of the individual. So pushing that is what kind of helps, but it's still. I said all of that to say that it's still hard. Help a brother out.
And you know why?
Hard.
Because men have ruined it. They ruined it. Y'all ruined third of massage. What you're getting is you end up with an offer of an eggplant 5 minutes.
Right, but let me say
And that's
something.
not right. That's not right. If I'm offered a massage, I should be given a massage. I'm expecting the full 60 minutes before there's any eggplant involved.
So
Please feel free.
to combat that, right, there's a stark difference. Although those circumstances, there's a science even behind that. The circumstances behind that is that massage in itself, like I said, based on the neurological system, is not about feeling sexy. It is a feeling or a state of euphoria, which is being taken advantage of. Now you got the option to say no. That's one component of it, but that is what you feel. It's not sexiness. It's euphoria that you feel. Okay, so and you can control that feeling. You know what I'm saying? You can definitely control that. And secondly, the concepts are different. Even when you talk about modalities in terms of Swedish versus deep tissue, if you are getting a massage for the application of betterment, rehabilitation, soreness, other things of that nature that have medical value to them, then that's what you should be seeking out. That's what you should be looking for, and you can receive those things from an individual such as myself.
I had to go with the professional because there were some unprofessional things going on. Let's just say that. There was some very unhappy endings. Which segues into my next question. Has anybody ever asked you for a happy ending?
No. No, they have not. And two, continue blessing and safety for those therapists who have had to experience that. I have not. Fortunately enough, I have not. It goes back into like what you said. I just try to, watch myself and, make sure it's understood that I'm there for business. Make sure that the conversation is clean and direct, and the eye contact is good, and the handshake is firm. Like the presentation from the beginning, helps avoid it. And I look at it too, like I gotta look out for my safety too. So I haven't.
So you're not,
look, I
so you
haven't-
haven't had any women that are like, I have an excessive amount of stress. Bob, you have to look at me
Well, look.
because I have to gain mind control. I have an excessive amount of stress in my upper thighs.
Hey,
I need you to concentrate on my upper thighs. And that's never happened.
and see, here's the thing. It happens, but also listen. It's about how you address and how you handle those things. Now, when the person, so you can feel that. Look, y'all out of TV land or YouTube land, wherever you are, whatever we on. Listen, y'all can feel that when she did that, right?
Right.
So you know if you can feel it, I can feel it. And you know you know about stranger danger, right? Hey, look, watch out. Yeah, I'm not trying to get myself in any trouble. I'm not trying to jeopardize your safety. I'm not trying to jeopardize my license. You know, it's a lot of things going on. And, you know, I would much rather, you know, keep everybody safe and have you feeling amazing in the way you're supposed to feel.
Yes.
And then come back
And the way
and
you're
see
supposed to feel. Notice the key words in the way
Yeah.
you're supposed to feel after a professional massage.
Yes.
And Bob is happily married, by the way. I should
Yes,
say
I
that.
am.
Shout out to your wife.
Yes,
She is
thank you,
beautiful and amazing
Yes, she is. And
and very supportive.
Yeah.
Very supportive.
100%. 100%. Yeah, shout out to my wife, Mrs. Cooper.
Yes.
Thank you.
You know what's funny is my I have friends who run a massage place out here in Mason, and so all of the people who work there they're my babies. Okay, so my son came down from Pennsylvania. So when was that? I want to say May. I could be lying to you though, because I forget things. Anyway, he came out. And he met all my friends at Nani, and now he's going to school for massage therapy.
Oh, that's a good deal.
All right.
Did you?
All
I
right.
didn't tell
you
you
didn't
that.
tell me that. You did
So
not tell me.
he's
Shout
going
out.
to
That's
school
exciting.
for
All
massage
right.
therapy, and I think that he would be really good at it because he's been doing that kind of stuff since he was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a natural thing for him, and I think he's a natural born. You know, he wants to heal. He wants to help
Right.
people. And that's kind of the mentality you have to have when you're a massage therapist is you have to have the knowledge, but you also have to have the desire to help other people and not just be in it for, you know, because you're touching people.
Yeah.
You're touching
it-
all of their
you're
peoples.
touching
That's
touching
true.
their
All
space,
their
their
people.
auras,
Yep.
their energy, their
And that's
their
That's true.
their everything. So you have to be really careful and be able to guard yourself from that as well.
Speaking of that, you know, it's like, you know, again, you know, you have to definitely guard your energy. And anybody who's looking or thinking or considering getting into the field, you know, and especially for the fellas, and this is a huge component. You have to, before you even start school, you have to understand the level of integrity is necessary to advance the field forward. Like if you haven't taken the time to do a self-evaluation and say, okay, what type of person am I, one, but also what level of responsibility am I willing to take on in order to be able to help other individuals out, because that's a huge piece as well, because you're taking on other individuals' energy, you're taking on other individuals' aches and pains, and you are using yourself as a vessel for healing. So it's important that you take an opportunity to look inside yourself to determine, is this actually what I am able to do based on the burden of responsibility that's going to be placed on my shoulders. So,
Right.
you know, just some.
Because you're a healer. That's it.
You
You're
are.
a healer, and
You are.
that's the thing is, you know, I know you see a massage therapist, and then I have the lovely and talented Bob here, and then you know, and that's the thing is that it is. You have, number one, if you're going to get into something, you have to have that gift and the passion to want to help people. But because, like I said, there are a lot of folks out here that are doing some janky stuff. Let's just say that out loud to all my previous boyfriends. Just gonna put that out there in the universe. Terrible, just terrible. Plus, you know, here's the thing: you're touching people all day long.
Yeah.
If Mister asked me for a back scratch, I'm good for 7 minutes. 7 minutes in,
Yeah.
I'm calling it quits. I'm like, you know what? We're done here. And if he asked me for a massage, you get the and a couple of these here. And I'm like, you know what? Either I'm going to fix myself a snack or I'm rolling over and going to sleep. That's it. That's all I got for you. So for you to, keep that same. So that's another question. Like, so when you're doing your clients, like, because you're with them for about an hour a piece, right?
Well, it depends on
Mine are
depends on
like 2 hours.
what. Yeah, it can
That's
be
wow.
it can be as long as 2 hours.
I don't want to touch people for 2 hours. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. But I'm glad that you do.
My massage.
There are people, like, when I say that that's a gift, because that's a gift. If you ask me to, hey, will you rub, because basically that's what we're asking you to do. Hey, will you rub on me for just 2 hours straight? Will you make contact with my skin for 2 hours? I'm going to check the opt-out button. That's what I'm doing right then and there.
Right.
So how do you, like, keep that same level of energy up when you go to the next client? Because, like, even if you got through Jen's 2-hour-long massage, then how do you keep that same level of energy up for the next client? Because how many clients do you think, like, on average, how many clients could you see in a day and do, like, be consistent? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, each individual person's body is different. And as far as, like, to your first question, maintaining the energy level in order to be able to work on that next client, first, each person's body is going to be different. The way you would actually work on the person is going to be different. So the pressure for each client may be different. There's a variety of different variations of techniques, modalities, ways you actually manipulate the soft tissue. And secondly, because of the fact that each person's body is different, what I will experience while I'm working on you may be totally different from what I experience when I'm working on Jen.
Okay.
Like, the focus area will potentially be different. The striation of the muscles will be different. The density of the muscles, how much water you drink versus how much water Jen drinks. All of that goes into the pretty much the palpation of what area it is I'm actually working on. Your shoulder could be having issues, or there may be issues that you may not have even recognized that you were having as an extension of another problem.
Right.
So, it's just kind of like every procedure, every process, every person's body is different. You go into it with a clean slate each time, and it's almost like I listen to what you tell me as far as what you have going on. Then I take those pieces and I connect the dots and help you find the other areas that connect to those to alleviate the pain.
So Ashley Hubble has sent us a question. She wants to know, she usually falls asleep during her massages, and she wants to know if that's normal, or she says she feels like she's wasted her time when she falls asleep. So I personally normally get the massages, so I'm usually half crying, half screaming, just trying to breathe through the massage. I've never actually fallen asleep. I have had some that were just very just energy healing, just kind of soft. I do have one masseuse that I work with that does, I almost fall asleep every time I'm in there. But I'm that relaxed with what she's doing. She's she has just a very gentle, she has a good pressure, but it's very gentle. So what is your experience with that?
Well, my experience, so falling asleep is definitely not a good thing. It's actually, falling asleep is a good thing. Most of us don't even understand the number of hours, number of days, number of months that we harbor stress. Stress leads to heart disease, and we know what heart disease does. So the falling asleep is your body's way of saying, okay, I needed to relieve that stress. I needed to relieve, that pent up, unnecessary, unwanted tension that your body holds on to. Plus, that's a message from your neurological system sending serotonin to your brain in order to be able to allow you to relax. Just as a side note, for those individuals who also, another uncomfortable thing that I hear a lot also that's very common is that your stomach will growl. A lot of times individuals will get on the table and your stomach will growl and they'll get a little embarrassed and they'll say, "Oh man, I didn't realize
I'm not worried about my stomach growling. I'm worried about farting.
I was just getting ready to say I
So-
get really gassy on the table, but I haven't farted on you yet. So there's
Right,
that.
right.
Don't stick that in the win column.
But the stomach growl is just it's just another way of your body releasing.
So is the
itself.
farting.
Yeah, and letting the therapist know and letting you know that that you're really relaxed. So yeah, go ahead and fall asleep. It's definitely not a waste of time. And that 1 hour of rest that you are getting equates to in the effect of the massage carries about 6, if I'm not mistaken, 6 to 8. I have to check my numbers to be factual, but I'm gonna throw it out there anyway, so you can look it up for yourself. But 1 hour massage equates to about 6 to 8 hours worth of sleep.
That is amazing.
Well, hallelujah. No wonder I have to get one every
Yeah,
week.
so it's okay. It's
That means
okay
that
to
I'm
go ahead
getting
and
6
fall
to 8
asleep.
hours of sleep
But,
a week.
double check those facts for me. But it is a tremendous amount of rest that your body incurs from falling asleep during that 1 hour massage. So,
Oh, I have to fall
it's
asleep during the
it's
massage.
definitely not a waste of time.
So Bob is going to treat Jennifer to a facial massage. And if you can kind of talk us through just a little bit of it. Because see, Bob, when I get my massages, I talk a lot, clearly.
Now,
That's
here's
why
my
we're here.
question. We were going to keep this at 30 minutes. We're at 30 minutes. Are we going to do a second episode now?
No,
or
we're just
doing-
moving on. We're gonna shoot the jack. We're gonna shoot for it. So, because this is not gonna be a full 60-minute facial massage. This is just a relaxing facial massage so that you can kind of get an idea of, because Bob's gonna kind of walk us through a little bit of it, and like I said, I talk a lot clearly. So
No.
he tells me to shut up during the massage because he's a friend. So of course I want to talk to him. He's like, "This is not time for talking. This is time for relaxing." So anyway,
And then typically when we would do a facial massage, most therapists know my client has requested a light bit of oil actually on the face, but typically when you're doing a facial massage, most of us don't typically use
You don't have
any sort of oil. No, it's okay. Customization. If the customer asks for something, you do it. As long as it's not gonna hurt them, you do what they say. Okay, as long as it's not gonna hurt them. All right.
It's
And-
good stuff. I made it.
And typically, this will be done laying down as well.
yes.
Sure.
Can look up my nose.
So I'm gonna have her lean back a little bit.
Don't let me fall.
I'm not gonna let you fall. If you do fall, I'm gonna laugh a little bit as I'm picking you up. Just a little bit. And I'm gonna move the snacks closer to me.
Typically, what we're doing, we're just doing a light grasp onto the fascia right here underneath the chin, separating that chin. Also separating circular motions.
I'm getting relaxed and I'm not even getting a facial massage.
Feel something? My jaw's been hurting. That's why I was asking.
She said her jaw's been hurting. The reason why she felt that is because this muscle here that I'm pressing on is the masseter. Okay, it runs right along the jawbone here, right along there,
Right there.
right there. Lifting that jaw for chewing
Good talking.
and talking. So we're gonna put a little bit of light pressure on it. Work through it.
I did tell Bob that I am willing to be filmed during one of my sessions. So that's going to be coming at you pretty soon.
On this
Oh,
one.
dear.
Me, partially dressed, hairy legs exposed, because I only shave up to the knee. Did I share that with you guys? When I do shave my legs, I only shave up to the kneecap.
I don't shave.
You probably don't have to.
I don't. I have no hair.
I'm like
I don't
a
even
wildebeest.
Look, I don't even have any hair on my arms.
Yeah, we won't talk about that right now. I'm very hairy. We've talked about that before, though.
Pinching those occipital muscles, which are the ones right around the eye.
One of my favorite parts of the massage is when I'm on the table and he lifts my head up and like pulls my neck away from my body, because you don't realize how much stress you carry in your spine until somebody relieves that pressure. It feels amazing. Amazing. And you know, when you think you can't afford massages, so here's the thing. Some insurance companies will actually cover medical massage.
That is correct, because I accept the FSA and the HSA card, which is your flexible spending card and your health savings card.
What you know about that?
And that kind of goes into also, like we talked about before, about education on the service in itself. Massage is holistic and preventative care. A large part of the misnomer that it's a luxury is because, I guess you would say back in the day, the expense that came along with the service was, was overwhelming for individuals to be able to afford a service of that nature. Plus, it's difficult to get an individual to invest in something that they're not necessarily able to see something going on right at the moment. So to say, okay, well, do this now so that it doesn't affect you later, that's a difficult thing. And only individuals who could afford that level of service, were able to have access to it. So most people deemed it or looked at it as being a privilege, but it's no different than medicine that you would take, a prescription or non-insured. Is kind of the same concept. Health benefit is a health benefit.
That's right. So did you hear that? He takes HSA and FSA cards. Just going to put that out there for you. And what areas do you service?
I service, actually right now I service the Cincinnati market, but I also service the Toledo market as well.
So do you travel in between two?
Yes, I do. Yep, travel between both.
So pretty much from tip of Ohio all the way down to the bottom.
Yep. That is true.
How is this going so far, Jen?
Feels really good.
I won't make her talk a lot.
Well, I don't mean to share everything, but I've been kind of sick. So this is really feeling good.
Really delightful.
What we're doing is we're opening up those nasal passageways here with this particular stroke, kind of open up some of that congestion. Help her breathe a little bit easier.
Somebody's calling.
Of course they are, because they can see that we're live. So
Sorry about that.
And to also, just for the record, for my other therapists out there taking a look or watching, typically when I'm working, I don't talk at all unless the client wants to have a conversation, but for the most part, I don't talk.
and he kind of shuts that down gently in a very professional way.
Right, if we
Like,
weren't here on the show,
quiet
this is about you, it's about the healing. So I want you to concentrate on you, and I want you to concentrate on the healing. So
I never have a quiet massage session.
really,
Ever.
I wonder why.
Ever. Can you read any of that?
Can I? How about I'm going to swing around there. I'm going to read the comments. Excuse me, sir. See how smooth that was?
That was
That
smooth.
was a very smooth
So
ride.
Sarah Hoskins says that looks so relaxing. She says she needs to check her insurance. She said, what about Northern Kentucky? Sarah says, how about Northern Kentucky?
Northern Kentucky.
He will go to Northern Kentucky, Sarah. Yes, he will. Yes, ma'am. So, that's interesting, though. So, how many clients do you think that you could see in a day at an hour apiece? How many do you think that you would see? And do you have, okay, because I have to ask these questions and you can answer them at your leisure.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have clients that just ask for like a foot massage?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I do, but it's technically what I do because I try to make everything all inclusive in terms of the medical understanding of it. So if I do a foot massage, I call it a lower leg treatment because
Okay.
it includes work on the quads down to the foot because the quads is actually what controls the lower leg. So I kind of get that lower leg work in there and then work on the foot and the supporting areas around the foot as well.
Gotcha. So you don't do, remember that video that came out of that guy that did the foot massage and all the ladies were going crazy because he had her, when I say he buttered her foot up like it was a Thanksgiving turkey with all the lotions and everything, he was all in between like he was really doing it to it. So is that, but you do like literally the whole leg,
Whole leg.
lower extremities.
Whole leg,
Okay.
right.
All right. So if somebody said, I want an hour-long hand massage.
Well, typically a hand massage is not one that would technically take a full hour. Usually, so
He hasn't felt my hand.
sometimes what we do is we take what the client asks for,
Uh-huh.
and it's also our responsibility to help them understand what's best for them or what they need.
Okay.
Because a lot of times, also like you said, so for the hand massage, uh, that there may be a lot of problems going on with the hand, but a full hour may not necessarily be what is best for that particular limb. Might not be best for that particular ailment. Same thing when it comes to deep tissue. Like I get clients a lot of time will come in and say, "Oh well, I want a deep tissue massage,"
No, you don't.
and that may exactly that may not
Uh-huh.
necessarily be what they mean, but something also you want to consider. You want to consider your therapist's ability to be able to understand you through that language. So I may understand that. Okay, you may not necessarily, especially when a lady may approach with a question. She may say, "Well, I want a deep tissue massage." No, it may not be necessarily that she wants a firm pressure, but it may not necessarily be full on deep. But it also may be a way of her saying, "I want it to be about business," or "I want this to be a serious massage," by asking those questions. That's just another tip for the other therapists out there who may be listening. Listen to your client, listen to what they're saying, ask questions, identify, what they have going on actually, so you can service them the best that you can.
So, like, I have a girlfriend. She really wants to give you a try, but she is a little bit apprehensive because she has rheumatoid arthritis.
Mhm.
So do
So,
I.
you modify. Do you modify your technique based on, um, like, say for instance, they can't get all up and all onto the table?
Mhm.
Then, are they
Okay.
still able? Are you still able to perform the service if, let's say, that there are some limitations to what the client is actually able to do?
Okay. Again, yes, I am able to perform the services if there are limitations. Again, I provide a mobile service. One, two, if the client was to come into the house, or excuse me, come into the place where I'm located, I have stools and other assisting aids to be able to help them get on and off the table. And as far as the rheumatoid arthritis is concerned, all massage treatment sessions are modified to the specifications of what that particular client needs. Now, I will say this. My direction is just funny that you asked it because I made that statement because my direction of continuing education is actually in osteoarthritis.
Really?
Yes, it is.
That is
Yes, it
amazing.
is.
So, those who suffer from osteoarthritis, from rheumatoid arthritis, any of the arthritis, that's your man. That's your man with a plan right there. So, starting to get a little jealous. I am starting to get a little bit jealous.
I will tell you that I'm enjoying this thoroughly.
So,
So, in regards to your friend, let me say this: I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which means that my I have hypermobility, so all my joints are all wobbly. They go out of place all the time, and I'm super hyper flexible. But when I bend over and touch my toes, because I can, everything goes out of whack, and I have to put it all back. I have arthritis. I have fibromyalgia. I have so many other.
a litany, if you
A
will.
litany, cramp fasciculation syndrome. So basically what massage does is your muscles have this like acid stuff in them, and when you get the massage, it's releasing that acid. Tell me what that stuff is, Bob. The acid that and you drink all the water, and it helps flush all that toxic stuff out of your body.
Okay, well, the term that she's referencing, she's talking about lactic acid.
Lactic acid. I knew it was an acid. So even if you have arthritis and all these other, because I have them all. I have all of them. It's not only sometimes, depending on the pressure that you're getting, it's going to help you out more than it's going to hurt you. So even if you're afraid of the pain at the time, and he is very gentle, I can tell you that, especially compared to what I'm used to. So what I'm going to want to do after this is I'm going to want to drink a ton of water. Go ahead, try it.
No,
Just go ahead. Drinking a ton of water is going to flush all that lactic acid, and it's going to help your body heal faster. So, and it's going to help with your joints. It's going to help release that. It's going to like oil the joints, essentially. So it's going to help with your physical ailments more than it's not going to hurt them.
True story.
Okay.
I'm here to testify to that.
Quick statement real quick. So, about what she said, about what she used to in terms of pressure is concerned. Now, again, this goes into the adjustment therapist, the adjustment, okay, and pressure. Typically, she would get a firmer pressure, but given the circumstance, television, we don't want that. You dig what I'm saying?
He doesn't want my face to go.
Look,
Film
she's
of
supposed to
screaming.
be
Right.
somewhat relaxing. You see that? See, I was right there. Relaxing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because, we could crank this mug up. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that, folks. We're not going to do. See, this is me. Take control of the situation and giving her what is in her best interest.
See? Professionalism.
Had to throw that in there.
And it helps that he is smart. That is amazing. Like I said, the fact that, if you have questions, if you haven't had a massage before, because I'm going to tell you, I only had one massage before I started going to him, and I'm not going to lie to you, there's a little Asian lady up in Mason, and she rubbed my belly fat with lemongrass oil. And when I left there, I thought we go together. I'm like, Joanne was her name. I remembered that because she was my girlfriend until I met Bob. And found out that Bob does this. But, yeah.
So you were dating this Joanne now.
Yeah, I thought I was dating her because she touched my belly. Nobody touches my belly. I had never had I never had unless you get the eggplant. I had never had an official thing is she had like the hot towels and everything, and it was a magical experience. I thought, because again I had nothing to compare it to, and then I met the Bobster, and Bob took it to a whole nother level. But I'm still very respectful of the fact that he is married, so we don't go together.
Well,
Just
now
saying.
I have had several massages on my stomach because of all my digestive
So is
and
this
other issues.
So is rubbing the stomach, is that a normal thing in massage? It is? Okay. All
It's
right.
typically a requested in most situations.
I will not request that because that would make it
It's
weird.
typically requested, but
Because I feel like then we have to go together
it
because
is normal.
Usually the focal area is usually my hips, and like my whole pelvic area is usually just like the whole focus of my massages.
your pelvic area in the front.
In the back and all the way to the front.
Oh yeah, he does
It's
that.
usually doing.
But I'm talking about she actually rubbed
So
all of this
no.
magnificence down with a bunch. And I smelled so good when I left there. Like I said, she did an amazing job.
But my whole
But
body.
that was my first time.
My whole body's
Your
a
first
hot
time
mess.
is always something
Yeah,
different.
my whole body's a hot mess. My whole body. So like they're just
Okay.
like.
Because I'm like, if she's doing the pelvic area in the front, that's something different too.
Well, there's
Never heard of
not that part, but like there are.
You can't find my pelvic area anymore. My apron covers it.
Well,
And then it splits to this, when I lay on my back, then it splits to the side. But you still got to hoist it up to find it. So there's that. I haven't seen my pubic hair in, God, been years now. Without a mirror.
I don't have any, so maybe I will.
We've entered into a very uncomfortable. It's awkward.
You're the one that brought it up. You're the one that brought that up.
The segues are what kills us, I think.
You think so? I don't understand why we're not like already on Ellen and shit. Because like,
I don't understand how we haven't been discovered yet. Just gonna say that. So, are you feeling relaxed? Are you feeling rejuvenated?
I am.
You're not sweaty anymore.
I'm not.
You look, honestly, when I got here, her face, and when we started, was, when I say blood red, and she was sweaty, and she turned the fan on, and she really wanted the high-powered fan, but I get a little nipply. So, but yeah, you look much more relaxed now, and
he's taken a lot of the pain down too.
Oh, awesome sauce. See? Magic.
Thank you.
Magic fingers here. So, do you have how many other massage therapists do you work with? And I thought that I overheard you say that you were including something else. So it wasn't like just massage, it was something else. Or am I mistaken? Because, I drink a lot. So there's that.
Good. Well,
I thought you were going to get with other businesses and kind of do Super Friends. What's the Super Friends, the hideout, Justice League or something like that? What is that called? You know what I'm talking about?
Great Hall of Justice?
Great Hall of Justice. Form the superpowers of the healers.
Yeah. So what I do is, I try to do the best I can to help other therapists by working with them and, us working together. But I also have a network of other individuals in terms of fitness and nutrition that I outsource information or help other individuals with. So if you have any questions regarding those notes, you can give us a call at 513-447-3927. That's the phone number to get in contact with the Wellness Lifestyle Group with any of your questions, therapeutic questions, exercise questions, nutrition questions. We'll do whatever we can to try to help you or get you the answer.
Awesome stuff. You can also find him he can also be found on Facebook under the Wellness Lifestyle Group.
Just Wellness Lifestyle Group.
And you can get in touch with him there, ask any questions.
Also, you can email me at wellnesslifestylegroup.oh@gmail.com.
Awesome sausage. So I want to thank you for coming out because it was wonderful.
And I want to thank you.
Yes.
No, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate, you ladies opening up the studio to me. and bringing me
Are
in.
you impressed?
The studio.
Are you impressed?
I am impressed.
Are you impressed with our green or with our green room snacks?
Hey, it was great. But hey, listen, I have to say this, right? So I had to travel 3 days journey on foot over the hills and through the woods
Literally
to grandmother's house
over the
I
river
went
and through was
to get
literally
to
to
the
get
studio.
here.
True
to
story.
come to y'all. So yes,
We're so glad
shouts
you made it.
out,
It was a
shouts
lot
out to
of
the
fun.
Spicy Unicorns. Yeah, yeah.
And the
Hey.
Wonder Diva.
Yeah,
And-
she's
and
the Wonder
and-
Diva. Yes.
And the Wonder Diva. Sorry about
Or the
that.
menopausal view together.
That's what's up.
Yes.
That's what's up.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So, thank you guys. We're going to be coming back shortly. We are going to send Mr. Bob back out into the woods alone in the dark.
Yes. Yes.
But we're gonna load him up with cheese and broccoli and carrot slices. We'll pack him a goodie bag to go.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in and stay flabulous.
Stay fabulous.
And we will see you guys in just a moment. Because actually, I'm gonna change hair.
We're gonna change.
We're gonna change.
We're
Come
gonna.
back.
You know, we have to
Talk
get
about
the
stuff.
wigs going. Oh my headband is all up in here, all tangled up in my hair. We're gonna get some wigs. I'm gonna get a wig on. I think we're gonna play in some makeup next.
We're gonna play in a bunch of stuff next, so stay tuned.
And we have more gifts to give away next
giveaways,
episode.
yes.
So if you want to be registered, all you have to do is share our videos, like our page, go to the Menopausal View on YouTube, and like and share our posts there as well. To get registered, we give something away on every video. So that's the other thing that we do. We eat, we throw shade, and we give things away on every episode. So
And we showcase wigs. That's what
yes,
we
we
do.
play in wigs and makeup and
Yep.
and all the kind of fun stuff. So come back, join us in a few
Yes.
minutes, and give us some time to get changed, and we'll be back with you. And stay fabulous.
Stay fabulous. Peace out. All right. Pardon moi.
I can't get this one.
I know.
You got this one recorded?
I do. And I don't know how to do